Hi everyone, this is Mahendra and I welcome you all to Luhar's classes. Today in this video we shall learn about a very important topic of 10th class. The topic name is proving irrationality of numbers. What is proving irrationality of numbers? So in your 10th class, in the first chapter, there are questions like prove that root 2 is irrational, prove that root 3 is irrational, prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational, prove that 7 root 7 is irrational. So these all questions come under category of proving irrationality of numbers. Irrationality of numbers. Done? Now, I think in your 10th class, it may be state board or CBSE board, there are some 10 questions I think of this category. But I feel that, Mahendra sir feel that there are just two types of problems. If you master these two types, you can answer any question of this category in the state board exam or in the CBSE board exam. Did you get me? There are just two models. If you master these models, then you can answer any question of this category in the examination. So you need not to learn all 10-15 problems. Just understand these two models, and if you understand these two models, if you are able to master these two models, you can easily answer any kind of question. Done? Right. By the way, one doubt you may get, the doubt is, sir, we belong to CBSE board, we have term 1, we have term 2, in term 1 we are going to have only MCQs, in term 2 we may have subjective questions if the corona pandemic doesn't persist, if it doesn't continue. Okay, so shall we learn or shall we not learn? So my dear children, I hope first chapter will be included in the term 1. In term 1 you have all MCQs, you're going to have a question paper of 90 minutes. Done. So but my suggestion is you should learn these proofs. Because if you learn these proofs, it may be useful in the future, and even these are going to help you to clear your school examinations, because in the school examinations they may ask this kind of question, and the marks of the school examination will be considered when they give the grade or when they give the points in the final examination. Done? So master these proofs, master this topic. One more important thing is, and what Mahendra sir feel is, knowledge doesn't go in vain. If you learn something, definitely it is going to help in the future. So without delaying, let us learn a very important topic of 10th class, proving irrationality of numbers. Okay, so let me begin the class. It's class time, it's show time. Done. Once again, welcome to Luhar's classes. Proving irrationality of numbers. First, let me tell you about irrational number. What is irrational number? Irrational number. What is the meaning of irrational number? Irrational number. Irrational number. If you take any number which cannot be expressed in the form of p by q, where p comma q are integers, q is not equal to 0, and p comma q are coprimes, are called or is called irrational number. Nothing you understood? I know that thing. Okay, so let me explain by using examples. I'll take number root 2. Here root 2 is irrational number. root 2 is irrational number, root 3 is irrational number, pi is irrational number. If you have a decimal which is non-terminating, non-recurring, non-terminating, non-recurring, so that is also a irrational number. Okay, so these are irrational numbers. Did you get me? Right. I am going to make one video in which I'll teach you in detail. I'll teach you about irrational numbers perfectly. I'll teach you about rational numbers, irrational numbers, real numbers, and I'll teach you about complex numbers also. I'll just give one small introduction of complex numbers. Done? Right. But for now, you just remember that root 2, root 3, pi, any decimal which is non-terminating, non-recurring is an irrational number. So here goes the first theorem. First theorem. Theorem is, let P be a prime number if P divides A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. Okay. Now you may be thinking, sir, why are we learning this? Do we need to learn this? Can't we proceed without learning this? Yes, we cannot proceed without learning this. We need to learn this. If you understand this particular statement or theorem, you are not going to face any difficulty in understanding the proofs. But if you fail to understand this statement, then it is very difficult to understand the proofs. I am telling you once again, this statement is very important, and the proof of these irrational numbers depends only on this statement. It is very important. Okay, right? So what is statement here? Let P be a prime number if P divides A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. Done. So what does it mean? Oh, right. So here P is a prime number. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are, what are prime numbers? In 6th class we have learned about prime numbers. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number, 11 is a prime number, 13 is a prime number, and so on. These are prime numbers. The definition of prime number is, any number having just two factors is called as a prime number. If I look at it 2 has two factors, 2 and 1. So here 2 is a prime number. If I consider 7 has two factors, 7 and 1. So 7 is a prime number. Any number which has just two factors is called as a prime number. Any number having just two factors is called as a prime number. Done? Right. Now you may ask me, sir, what is composite number? I'll give clarity about composite number also. Any number having more than two factors is called as a composite number. Any number having more than two factors is called as a composite number. Okay, so you can say 4 is a composite number, because what are the factors of 4? Factors of 4 are 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor, 4 is a factor. So it has 3 factors. 3 factors means more than 2 factors. Any number having more than 2 factors is called as a composite number. But what about 1? 1 is neither prime nor composite. Okay, because it has only one factor. It is not satisfying the property of prime number. It is not satisfying the property of composite number. What is the property of prime number? It should have 2 factors. What is the property of composite number? It should have more than 2 factors. Did you get me? So it has only one factor. So 1 is neither prime nor composite. In some of the books, I read a book. The author is Rajiv Manocha. In that he mentioned that 1 is called as unit. Okay, so he mentioned that 1 is called as unit. Done. So we have learnt about prime number, we have learnt about composite number. Now we'll understand the statement. Let P be a prime number if P divides A square, then P divides A. Now answer my question. Question. Can I say 2 divides 6 square? Can I say 2 divides 6 square? Yes, because 6 square is 36 and 36 by 2 is 18. Okay. So if 2 is dividing 6 square, can I say 2 also divides 6? Yes, 2 also divides 6. Similarly, can I say 3 divides 6 square? Yes, 3 divides 6 square because 36 by 3 is 12. If 3 will divide 6 square, can I also say that 3 divides 6? Yes, 3 divides 6. Done. So here, if you have any positive integer a such that then if p will divide a square, then p also divides a. Did you get me? If a is any positive integer, if p will divide a square, then p also divides a. P also divides a. Done? Right. You may ask me to give one more example. I'll give one more example. Can I say that 5 divides 25 square? Yes, it divides because we'll have 625 by 5. So 625 by 5 is nothing but 125. Is it 125? 1, 2. Yeah, it's 125. If 5 is dividing 25 square, I can also say that 5 divides 25. I can also say that 5 divides 25 because 25 by 5 is 5. Okay. So here condition is p should be a prime number. P should be a prime number. A can be any positive integer. If p divides a square, then p also divides a. I hope, I feel that the statement is clear to everyone. I'll give you time of 1 minute. In 1 minute, you just try to recap whatever thing is said. Because if you understand this statement, then only you understand the future discussion. Right? So please go through it. I hope everyone has understood this one. Done. So now we shall learn how root 2 is irrational. We shall learn how root 2 is irrational. We shall learn how root 2 is irrational. So ready? Right. So we have to prove root 2 is irrational, but let me assume root 2 is rational. Let root 2 be rational. Let just 1 second, okay? Yeah. Let root 2 be rational. Rational means rational number. If root 2 is rational, definitely root 2 will be of the form p by q, where p comma q are integers. Where p comma q are integers. Q is not equal to 0. Next important thing, p comma q are coprimes. P comma q are coprimes. What is the meaning of coprime? Two numbers are said to be coprime if their HCF is 1. Okay. If I take numbers 3 and 5, can I say 3 and 5 are coprimes? Yes, 3 comma 5 or 3 and 5 are coprime because their HCF is 1. Can I say 4 and 9 as coprimes? Yes, I can say 4 and 9 are coprime because HCF of 4 and 9 is 1. But important thing is, numbers need not be prime to be coprime. Here 4 and 9 are coprime, but 4 is not a prime number, 9 is not a prime number. So coprime means their HCF should be 1. Two numbers are said to be coprime if their HCF is 1. Done? So here root 2 can be root 2 can be equal, it may be equal to 3 by 5. Okay, because 3 and 5 are co-primes. Done. It may be equal. It is not equal. It may be equal. Right. Now we'll do squaring on both sides. So let us do squaring on both sides. Squaring on both sides. So we'll have root 2 whole square is equals to p by q whole square. Okay. Now what are we going to get here? Root 2 whole square means square root get cancelled, left is 2. So 2 is equals to p square by q square. We'll transpose q square to left hand side, we'll have 2q square is equals to p square. Okay. Now finally what are you going to have? Yeah, we'll assume this is equation number 1. Now we'll have q square is equals to p square by 2. We'll have q square is equals to p square by 2. Now p square by 2 is equals to q square. What does it mean? It means 2 is dividing, 2 divides p square. For example, if I say 6 square by 2 is equals to 18. What does it mean? It means 2 is dividing 6 square. So same logic here also. Same logic here also. So I can write one thing here. 2 divides p square. If 2 divides p square, can I also say 2 also divides p? Just now we learnt the statement. If 2 divides p square, then 2 also divides p. If 2 is dividing p, then can I say p is a multiple of 2? P is a multiple of 2. Means p can be 2 into 1, p can be 2 into 2, p can be 2 into 3. Okay. So p is a multiple of 2. Where c is some integer. Where c is some integer. Where c is some integer. Done? Now one doubt you may get, sir, what is this? Okay. For example, if I say 6 by 3 is equals to 2. So here can I say 6 is a multiple of 3? Can I say 6 is a multiple of 3? Yes, because 6 is equal to 3 into something, here something is 2. If we have 9 by 3 is equal to 3. So what can we say? We can say that 9 is a multiple of 3. So same logic applied here. Okay, nothing else I have done. Don't worry. So p is a multiple of 2. We'll put in the box. Now what we'll do is we'll substitute the value of p. We'll substitute the value of p in equation number 1. Substitute p is equals to 2 in equation number 1. What was our equation number 1? Our equation number 1 was, one second, today PPT is not listening to me, right, no problem. So substitute p is equals to 2 in equation number 1. Equation number 1 is 2q square is equals to p square. So 2q square is equals to value of p is 2c, we'll have 2c whole square. Now what are we going to get? We are going to get 2q square is equals to 4c square. Okay. Yeah, now it started listening. So what we should have? We should have patience, because patience will pay. One of my favorite quotation. Not quotation, favorite line. So here what are we going to have? We are going to have 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So finally what are we going to have? We are going to have q square is equals to 2c square. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Right, I'll give you time of 1 minute. Please go through it once, what we have written, what we have discussed. Q square is equals to c square. Right, I will transpose 2 to left hand side. We'll have q square by 2 is equal to c square. Q square by 2 is equal to c square. By this we can conclude that 2 divides q square. 2 divides q square. If 2 will divide q square, can I also say that 2 also divides q? 2 also divides q. Yeah, I can say 2 also divides q. Did you get me? 2 also divides q. Now if 2 will divide q, I can say that q is a multiple of 2. If 2 will divide q, I can say that q is a multiple of 2 where d is some integer. So we have reached the climax. It's time to end the movie. A scene actually. So q is equals to 2d. Now we have to think. What do we have to think? Here q is a multiple of 2. So q can be anything. Q can be 2, 4, q can be anything. Q can be 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Similarly, p is also a multiple of 2. So p can be anything. P can be 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. So if I observe, I don't know the exact value of p. I don't know the exact value of q. But I know that p is a multiple of 2, q is a multiple of 2. So can I know what is the least common factor of p and q? Can I know what is the least common factor of p and q? So the least common factor of p and q will be 2. 2 is the least common factor of p and q. 2 is the least common factor of p and q. 2 is the least common factor of p and q. Do you all agree with me? Okay, 2 is the least common factor of p and q, but initially we have assumed that p and q are co-primes. That means HCF is 1. HCF of p and q is 1. But we have reached to a point where p and q has 2 as the least common factor. So what can we say here? We can say that this contradicts means oppose. The meaning of contradiction is opposing. Contradict means opposing. This contradicts the fact that p and q are co-primes. Okay, so what can we conclude? Therefore root 2 is irrational. Sorry, one statement I missed. Hence our assumption is wrong. Hence our assumption is wrong. Hence our assumption is wrong. Therefore root 2 is irrational. Okay, right. So just recap. Just think about this. Now you may ask one question to me. Sir, what we should do if they give proof root 3 is irrational? What we should do if they give proof root 5 is irrational? What we should do if they ask us to prove root 7 is irrational? What we should do if they ask us to prove root 11 is irrational? What we should do? Then you should remember, Mahendra sir, and follow this trick. Okay, I'll tell one trick to you, a very beautiful trick. I hope your teachers might have told this thing to you. It is not new, but it's my responsibility to discuss with children. If question is prove root 3 is irrational, okay, we'll take 5. If question is prove root 5 is irrational, so what we should do? Let root 5 be rational. Let root 5 is equals to p by q. Squaring on both sides, just go on replacing 2 with 5 with a little care. So here we'll have 5 is equals to p square by q square. Here we'll have 5q square is equals to p square. Here we'll have q square is equals to p square by 5. Here we'll have 5 divides p square. Here we'll have 5 also divides p. Here we'll have p is equals to 5 into c. Here we'll have p is equals to 5c. Here we'll have 5q square is equal to p square. Here we'll have 5q square is equals to 5c whole square. Here we are going to have 5q square is equals to 25c square. So 5 ones are 5 5s are. Next, here we are going to have q square is equal to 5c square. Here we are going to have q square by 5 is equal to c square. Here we are going to have 5 divides q square. Here we are going to have 5 also divides q. Here we are going to have q is a multiple of 5. Here we are going to have 5 is the least common factor of p and q. This is all, let me erase. Yeah, finally, hence our assumption is wrong, root 5 is irrational. Then, I hope the trick is clear. Trick is clear. Next, if they ask you prove root 7 is irrational, apply same logic. If they ask you to prove root 11 as irrational, apply same logic. Root 11 is irrational, let root 11 be rational. Let root 11 is equals to p by q. Here we'll have 11. 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 Just go on replacing 11 with 5. That's it. Sorry, go on replacing 5 with 11. So here, here 11. Here we'll have 11. Here we'll have 11. Here we'll have 11. Here we are going to have, what are we going to have here? We are going to have 11. We are going to have 121. So 11 ones are 11. 11s are 121. 11 or 11, both are same, right? So 11, here also 11, here also 11, here also 11. Done? Right. So in this way, if they ask you to prove root 3, root 7, root 13, you can use this trick. Done? So this is one model. This is one kind of question. This is one type of question. What is the type? Prove root 2 is irrational, prove root 3 is irrational, prove root 7 is irrational, prove root 11 is irrational. This is one type. Okay? Right? I hope everyone has understood this one. If you feel that sir it is not clear, please mention in the comment section so that Mahendra sir is going to improvise his teaching, because Mahendra sir is not God. Mahendra sir is even Mahendra sir is human, so Mahendra sir can also do mistakes. Done? So if it is not clear, if you feel that sir it is not understandable, so please mention in the comment section. I shall improvise my teaching, because we all are human beings and we do mistakes. Done? Right. So next thing is prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. So this is the second model. This is second model. Okay, I'm telling you from beginning that there are just two types of questions. So first type we have discussed already, second type we'll discuss now, and second type is the most easiest one. It is simple thing, as simple as eating the favorite food. So here goes the discussion. Same, let 3 plus 2 root 5 be rational. Let 3 plus 2 root 5 be rational. So we'll have, if it is rational, definitely 3 plus 2 root 5 will be of the form p by q, where p comma q are integers, where p comma q are integers, q is not equal to 0, and p comma q are coprimes. P comma q are coprimes. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll transpose 3 to right hand side. We'll have 2 root 5 is equals to p by q minus 3. Next what are we going to have? We are going to have 2 root 5 is equals to p minus 3q by q. We'll transpose 2 to right hand side. We'll have root 5 is equals to p minus 3q by 2q. Now it's time to think. If I look at the right hand side, when I look at the right hand side, sorry, left hand side, in the left hand side, oh, one mistake I have done, not mistake. In the exam he may give one more point in the question. Given that root 5 is irrational. If you look in the CBS examination or the state board examination, he may mention this extra point in the question. In the books he didn't mention, but in the exam he mentioned. Given that root 5 is irrational. In the left hand side I have root 5. Root 5 is irrational, no doubt in that. Root 5 is irrational, no doubt in that. Now when I look at the right hand side, in right hand side I have p minus 3q by 2q. Here p and q are integers. In place of p and q, if I substitute, if I take any integer value, and if I simplify p minus 3q by 2q, what am I going to get? In place of p and q, if I substitute, if I substitute any integer value, it's like I can take p as 1, I can take q as minus 7, and if I substitute and simplify, then what will I get here? I am going to get a rational number. I am going to get a rational number. In place of p and q, if I take any integer value and if I substitute and simplify p minus 3q by 2q, I am going to get a rational number. Did you get me? In the left hand side I have irrational, in the right hand side I have rational. Is it possible to have irrational equal rational? It is not possible. We cannot say rational is equal to irrational. Okay, so this thing will write. I'll repeat once again slowly. Right. In the left hand side I have root 5. We know that root 5 is irrational. In the right hand side I have p minus 3q by 2q. In place of p and q, if I take any integer value and if I substitute and simplify, what am I going to get? I am going to get a rational number. So p minus 3q by 2q is a rational number, root 5 is a rational number. Irrational number cannot be equal to rational number. Did you get me? Right. If you didn't get me, please mention in the comment section. Mahendra sir is going to work on that. Done. So we'll write since p comma q are integers, since p comma q are integers, since p comma q are integers, p minus 3q by 2q will be rational. Just now we have discussed. Okay, but this contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational. That root 5 is irrational. Root 5 is irrational. So what can we say? Hence our assumption is wrong. I should improve handwriting. Handwriting is not good. I'll work on that. Hence our assumption is wrong. Therefore, there is no space. I'll write here. Therefore, final statement. I'm writing here. Okay. Therefore, 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. I hope proofs are simple. Yeah, done. So just go through it once. Just try to recap. It is clear? Right. So next we'll look into one more question. Prove that 7 root 5 is irrational. This is related to second model. Okay. If I discuss only one question, people are going to feel that that's how to solve other problems. So to clear that feeling, I am discussing one more question. Same thing. This question belongs to second model. I am writing a second model. So prove that 7 root 5 is irrational. So same thing. Let 7 root 5 be rational. If 7 root 5 is rational, then definitely 7 root 5 will be of the form p by q, where p comma q are integers, q is not equal to 0, and p comma q are coprimes. They are coprimes. What are coprimes? Two numbers are said to be coprimes if their HCF is 1. So we'll transpose 7 to right hand side. What are we going to have? We are going to have root 5 is equals to p by 7q. Now same logic we have to apply here. We'll apply same logic. In the left hand side I have it. Okay. In the question he is going to add one more important thing. Given that root 5 is irrational. Done. So root 5 is irrational. No doubt in that. Root 5 is irrational. Next, 7 by p cube. Here p and q are integers. So 7 by 7 p cube. P by 7 cube. P by 7 cube will be rational. Done. P by 7 cube will be rational. Now here, why p by 7 cube is rational? Because p and q are integers. So we'll write whatever thing we have discussed now. Since p and q are integers, since p and q are integers, p by 7q will be rational. P by 7q will be rational. But same thing, this contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational. So what can we conclude here? We conclude that hence our assumption is wrong. Hence our assumption is wrong. Hence our assumption is wrong. Therefore 7 root 5 is irrational. Therefore 7 root 5 is irrational. Okay, done? Right. So we have discussed two important models of irrationality of irrational numbers. Irrationality of numbers. Okay. So if you master these two models, easily can answer any question related to this model in the CBSE or state exam. Done? Right. Oh, right. So Mahendra sir will teach physics and chemistry also on this channel, and as I mentioned earlier, Mahendra sir is planning something great for all the kids of 9th and 10th. I know what problems are faced by kids of 9th and 10th. I'll discuss all the problems in one of the upcoming video. Done? So Mahendra sir is planning something great for all the kids of 9th and 10th. I'm just working on that. Once the plan is ready, once the groundwork is done, I'll review the plan. I'll discuss plan with you. Done? And as I mentioned always, don't forget to spend some time for physical activity, because healthy brain stays in the healthy body. If you like the content, if you feel that content is good, if you feel that the video is useful, please share the video with your friends, with your relatives, with your seniors, with your juniors, so that most of the kids get benefit out of this. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you like the video, if you feel that channel is useful, if you feel that the content is good, please subscribe to Luhar's classes. Mahendra sir will be teaching physics and chemistry also on this channel. I'm just working on that. Once I finish working, then I'll start teaching math and physics. It means on this channel you are going to get complete maths, complete physics and complete chemistry of 9th and 10th, and if possible I'll try to teach reasoning also. Okay, so thank you then. Have a good day. Bye bye. We shall meet back in the next video. Till that time, stay home, stay safe.